I want you to look at this clip and think for a second. Who do you think is more likely to win in this scenario? And if you said Kakoma, you'd be wrong. Now the right answer isn't Ni either. The answer is it's an even match. You see, Ni is missing 75% of his HP, but Kakoma has found himself next to the wall. Before you say I'm crazy, watch this clip and see how Ni takes this round. Now look at this. He's going to take a lot of damage here. And he's not going to retaliate much. That's because he's fighting for the wall right now. And once he gets the wall, then he's going to start making some moves. Takes a little bit more damage, but now he has the wall fully. Look how he backed his opponent into a corner. And by the time Kakoma realizes, it's too late. Ni's got the wall. He gets a nice counter hit while Kakoma tries to get out. And this is where Kakoma makes a fatal mistake. He steps towards the wall. And by the time he realizes it, he can't get away. And now all Ni needs to do is to burn some time. Pops heat, that burns a lot of time. And look, immediately he goes for Heat Smash to save off 2 more seconds. Goes for Brian's longest string to save off 3 more. Now a lot of people would say Ni made a great comeback here. But that's not true because he was never at the disadvantage. Let me show you another example. In this scenario, I'm in a pretty bad spot. I'm down in life, and my back is to the wall. Even though it's a little bit far, it's still not a great position to be in. But this is where my opponent makes a mistake of stepping towards the wall. Now he may not have been thinking of anything while we were doing shuffling, but my entire goal was to get him in this position. And now his back is to the wall. With the wall position on my side, I'm able to take the round. Now even if you're in a great position, it means absolutely nothing if you can't capitalize off of it. So it's very important you know your moves to keep them from getting out of the wall. Now unfortunately, I can't show you how to keep the wall with every single character. But I can show you how to find out. All you have to do is position your opponent near a wall and try out some moves. Now typically, any move that hits during a side walk will most likely hit the same opponent doing a side step. That being said, you can be extra thorough and check out both. Now, keep in mind, this could be character specific as some characters have a better side step, so make sure to be careful of that. So we now know down forward 1-1 tracks right. Now we need to figure out what tracks left, which is Reina's weak side. And even though it's Reina's weak side, most characters typically have a move that still tracks to their weak side. So let's find Reina's. So as you can see, standing 4 tracks Reina's weak side. Kind of. This will actually only track sidestep left in this scenario. If somebody side walks, this move will whiff. Now the reason this move is missing is that because when your character sidesteps to the left, they actually do a tiny duck. So you can only catch them if you delay the move. Now how can you get around this? And the answer is, you can't. For +1, Reina really can't track to her weak side. But that does change on +2. You see, I've always thought that while standing 4 was a bad move, because it can be ducked with the sidewalk. But I was wrong. It can only be ducked on +1. So it's actually a very good option on +2. And it only took me 5 minutes to figure out I had been wrong for once. Now at this point, you're probably still wondering, what do you do when you're only +1 then? And the answer is you step with them. If you read their side step, and you don't have anything to follow it, you follow them yourself. And as long as you step with them, all your moves should track. Now that you know what to do when you're at a wall, now you need to know what to do when your back is to a wall. One of the best ways to get out of the wall is to grab. Now this can be character dependent as not all characters have grabs that will switch sides even with a break. Another great way to get out of the wall is stepping away from your opponent. Basically you would want to step the opposite way that your opponent's stepping. And of course, there's always the option to start your own offense. Now, at what point should you start focusing on your positioning? Well, always. Here's an example of me using my turn to get a good position. After getting a good position, my opponent countersteps me. I make the decision to move in so she can't escape. Earlier I learned that standing 4 tracks after +2, so I used it to catch her sidestep. I used 1-1-2 to get her back to the wall. This is when my opponent decides to try to throw me to switch positions, but unfortunately for her, her throw only switches sides if I don't break it. Here's an example of what I do when I have my opponent in a corner. Now, being in a corner in Tekken is the hardest place to get out of. As you can see, my opponent is stuck. I use electric to keep my plus frames, and I use sidestep to dodge her attacks. And with that, I was able to swiftly close out a round. Thank you so much for watching. If you considered this helpful, please like and subscribe. I'll be making more edits soon, and might even be going undercover again. The support over the last few videos have been amazing, so thank you so much for that. And always remember to
consider your position carefully.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that joke. Have a good day. Yeah, the video's over. We're not at 6 minutes yet, so give me a few seconds. Alright, that's good enough. Goodbye.